what else should we be looking out for? Our Washington correspondent Janelle Dumalaon has 5 things.
Here are the 5 things to watch out for on election night. And number 1, Trump tactics. Expect Donald Trump to claim a victory at some point during the night. Even if he's losing, the former president is almost certain not to concede in such a tight race.
We're leading in the polls, but we have to do it too big to rig.
He's already made repeated warnings about voter fraud, claiming he'll prosecute anyone found cheating if elected.
Because they are good at one thing. You know what that one thing is? He goes, cheating. That's true. They're professional thieves.
Some say Trump's rhetoric is his way of preemptively questioning a Kamala Harris victory, if it happens, laying the groundwork for a legal challenge. And lawyers from both campaigns have been gearing up for months, actually years, in anticipation. The election results could very possibly get mired in litigation. More on that later. Number 2, the Jill Stein effect. Now, obviously, the Green Party candidate has no path to the presidency, but she is on the ballot in key swing states like Pennsylvania, Michigan, and Wisconsin. And in such a tight race, a tiny vote share going to Stein could tilt the balance, more likely away from Harris and towards Trump. Check out this attack ad from the Democrats.
Jill Stein, Green Party candidate for president. So why are Trump's close allies helping her? Stein was key to Trump's 2016 wins in battleground states. She's not sorry she helped Trump win. That's why a vote for Stein is really a vote for Trump.
Stein's stance against U.S. support of Israel's war in Gaza has also helped her gain traction among Arab Americans.
This is a very dire situation that will be continued under both Democrats and Republicans. So we say there is no lesser evil in this race.
Number 3, abortion rights. The issue is also on the ballot in 10 states. And in most cases, voters are deciding whether to add constitutional protections on the state level to abortion. And some of the places involved, like Arizona and Nevada, are battleground states. Now, for his part, Donald Trump has struggled to find consistent messaging on the issue, while Kamala Harris has put the fight for restoring reproductive rights at the forefront of her campaign.
And I promise you, when I am President of the United States and Congress passes a bill to restore the protections of Roe v. Wade, I will proudly sign it into law.
Number 4, the Senate and House. Whichever party controls the House and Senate will determine how much the newly elected president actually gets done. Currently, the Democrats have the slimmest of majorities, 51 to 49, in the Senate, the upper chamber of the United States Congress, while the Republicans just about control the lower chamber, known as the House. 34 seats are up for grabs in the Senate, and the Democrats can ill afford to lose any seats, especially since West Virginia Senator Joe Manchin retiring means they're already down 1. As for the House, well, that's widely considered a coin toss, with most analysts giving the Democrats a slight edge. All 435 seats are up for election, with a few dozen races considered competitive. And finally, number 5, expect to wait for a winner. Each state has its own set of rules governing elections. For instance, the swing state of Pennsylvania can't start counting absentee and mail-in ballots until Election Day. It's a big state, so that could take a while. Suffice to say, it is possible we will not know the election result on the night of November 5, or 6, or 7. And with so much uncertainty, that brings us back to the issue of legal challenges and litigation, with experts warning that the longer the wait for a winner to be announced, the more opportunity for conspiracy theories to take hold and create doubt over the process.
There's lots of reasons to be concerned when so much of the rhetoric and misinformation and sort of anti-democratic campaign talking points are so prevalent and getting repeated so much out of mainstream party candidates. That's not what you want to see.
So there you have it. 5 things to watch out for as this 2024 presidential election unfolds, setting you up for the hours and probably long days ahead.
Well, political campaign advisor and digital media strategist Julius van der Laar is still with us. Julius, what do you think will be some of the issues to watch out for as voting unfolds?
I mean, I've looked closely at the polling, and the main issue seems to be the economy and the increasing cost of living. So a lot of people are focused on grocery prices, cost of living, how much am I paying for rent? And people are worried about it. There's a poll out in the field that's asking, is the country on the right track or the wrong track? And people are responding and saying that 72% of Americans are saying we're on the wrong track, on the wrong path. So that gives me a signal that people want a change. Now, do they want to change back to Donald Trump or change from Joe Biden to Kamala Harris? That's, of course, the big question, but people are ready for some changes. Now, economy is the number one issue, inflation. Number two issue is immigration, and it is closely followed by abortion. So both issues that, of course, drive Republican or Democratic turnout, and I think that's going to be the main battle. Which one mobilizes the voters of Kamala Harris or Donald Trump, I should say, more?
It's important we don't forget the congressional races amid all the presidential hoopla. What are you going to be looking out for there?
I'm going to look for turnout. Again, I think bottom of the ticket is always influenced by top of the ticket. So I'm going to look at where is Kamala Harris performing, where is, of course, Donald Trump performing. I'm going to look at some of the key races in Georgia. I'm going to try to figure out Latino turnout, African-American turnout down in Georgia, over in Pennsylvania. And I think that's going to give me an index whether we're going to see a vast majority of turnout, and that's most certainly going to influence the congressional races as well.
Tell me about, you were just telling me about one of the Trump rallies that you attended where the former president appeared to go off on a mad ramble, but you found it effective.
Yeah. I mean, he calls it the weave, where he says, I'm going to go off on a weave, and there's one issue and a second issue. I'm going to weave it all together. The specific thing that I had in mind is when he talked about Elon Musk. And he talked about the spaceship that went into space and then came back and it was captured. And he describes it in great detail. And I thought, this is just some rambling and, excuse me, but nonsense that he's talking about on the final leg of this election campaign when he could be talking about issues. But then I thought to myself, he is describing something that is unique. And he's always talking about making America great again. And that is a specific example of American exceptionalism. Nobody else can shoot a rocket up in space and bring it back. And as he was talking, I noticed I had vivid pictures in my head. Now, other people might see it differently. But I thought there's a specific reason why he does it. And he says, only we in America can do it. And the guy who does it is supporting me. I can be that guy who can do it again. I'm not saying Donald Trump is winning this election. I'm not. But I'm saying he's figured out an interesting way of communicating.
OK, it's about the heart, not just their head. Julius, stay with us.